Hi everybody. On March 28th, we've got a wonderful new moon at 7 degrees and 37 minutes of Aries. It's a time for new beginnings. Aries would rule birth. You come out head first. Aries rules the head. And this is an opportunity with 5 planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus and Uranus, all in Aries at the time of this new moon, for a rebirth, for rejuvenating yourself, for recreating your life. It's exciting. It's about bringing more excitement into your life. There's so much fire going on. We've got 6 planets in fire signs because Saturn is also in a fire sign. And at the time of this full new moon, we've got a T-square, a cardinal T-square going on between Pluto, Uranus and Jupiter, bringing us up to 7 planets in cardinal signs out of 10. So if ever there's a time for action, if ever there's a time for getting up off your ass, as you call it in America, arse we would call it in England, and saying, I'm just going to get going. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to do things differently. If you're willing to do that at the time of this new moon, then you can steer the course of your life into a brand new direction. So let's break this down as to how I'm seeing it. What I'm seeing is that with Mercury and Uranus very close together, it's a wonderful time for some great new ideas. So have a pen and paper ready, your iPad, a recorder. You might come up with something very innovative, very creative. Mars, ruler of Aries, is in Taurus. And Taurus is practical, it's grounded. It wants you to take practical actions. So what I've started to add to my morning practice is hot and cold showers. And I have to be honest, at first I hated it. It was awful with a freezing cold shower. But now, I can't say I love it, but afterwards I feel invigorated. I feel alive, fresh, new. So something tiny, a tiny action that you could do that might be uncomfortable at first, because very often when you do something that's uncomfortable, or you take a big risk, it doesn't feel nice necessarily. But if you could just be a little patient with that Mars in Taurus energy, and begin to say, all right, well, I'm going to keep trying, and let's see if there's any results from this after a little while, and you begin to see results from that discomfort, then you're more likely to keep going. And that's what's really keeping me going through some of the discomfort when I'm doing various hours of yoga and my body is, it's quite a stretch. But again, it's like, how have you gotten into habits that are keeping you stuck? And what can you do to free yourself? Because this T-square, with Pluto being at the apex of the T-square, could well bring up your fears, your resistances. With the aging process, there's a tendency to not want to do so much. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I look around me and, not want to be as physical, not be able to, 18 months ago, it was difficult for me to pick things up from the floor. Now, if somebody accidentally drops something, I can't wait to get down onto the floor and pick it up. It's fun. So Aries energy is about awakening the childlike part of you, the fun part of you, and also the wild part of you. We've been tamed in so many ways in our society. You know, don't do this, watch out, who's watching me, police car comes up, you know, what have I done? All those kinds of things inhibit us from expressing a certain wildness, yes, that you see in animals. That's just, it's powerful, isn't it? It's strong. So I think many of us are subdued in our strength. So how can you bring out that certain primitive side of you, that wildness? You could do it through art, through music, through walking in nature. I did it the other day, walking across a very busy bridge on a motorway, and the cars were zipping past, and I just started to roar along with those cars, and I twirled and I skipped, and I just let that sort of wild, crazy part of me out. So let that out. Take little actions, and you may create some very big, powerful changes in your life. With so many planets in cardinal signs, the cardinal signs Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, are all about initiation, doing something. So make it your business at the time of this new moon to actually do something new that makes your heart, your tummy, just a little bit, shall we say, fluttery. Now, many of you may be saying, but what about Venus being retrograde? Well, Venus is retrograde at the time of this new moon in Aries. And when Venus is retrograde in Aries, from my perspective, this is about reflecting on what gives you pleasure, what brings you excitement. Because the more you can get in touch with that, because Venus does rule your money and your relationships, but this is about your relationship with you, with Venus retro in Aries. The more you can awaken and rejuvenate your relationship with you, the healthier your relationships and your finances will be as everything begins to move into Taurus next month. So, I wish you a great new moon in Aries. Here is your painting, passion. You could have it that way. You could have it that way. This is a very flexible one, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now.